Please welcome the Mission Zone.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josh, the founder and CEO of the MissionZone. I don't know about you, but every time I go to see an action movie, I'm always thinking to myself, I don't want to just watch this, I want to actually do it. There's a lot of places that are trying this now, like theme parks in Florida, but they tend to be very expensive, and they're actually hard-coded to a specific experience. Virtual reality is great for far-field experiences, but not so great for the tactile stuff up close. Escape rooms are awesome because you get that close-up feeling with things, but they're hard-coded to a specific experience. You'd never go back and do it twice. They can't scale without construction. I think everyone would agree that the Star Trek holodeck is probably the ultimate in a scalable, immersive experience. But what does version 1 of the holodeck look like? Well, at the MissionZone, we decided to create a proof of concept to try to see if we could scale multiple experiences in the same physical space the way the holodeck does, not just entertainment. We want to branch out into other realms because we know that we're incurring the cost of real estate, which means that we need to scale time of day, have people in there as much as possible. Entertainment is just nights and weekends. So we came up with something a little different we call manipulated reality, or changing the shape and behavior of a real-world physical space based on people moving through it and the plot line that they're engaged with. So about 10 months ago, we opened up shop in southern New Hampshire, and to date, we've had 850 paid customers coming through and experiencing mission with us. Inside of the store, this is our briefing area, where people get ready to embark on a mission. They do their prep work. This is a look over the top of the walls. Those are 7-foot-high walls. We split them into multiple rooms, and we use magnetic locks and lights to control how people move through that space. Unlike an escape room, we have a generic office in which we have certain things that will enable multiple experiences. Documents can be stored for as many missions as we can possibly think of. But little things like a trinket on your desk can hide something like a password, which is where all of us keep it underneath. If you think about YouTube and the way it became a platform for distribution of video content, we want to be a platform for the distribution of real-world immersive experiences, so that video creators can actually have a new way of experiencing their content with their customers and monetizing that, as well as Dungeons and Dragon types that want to create experiences and adventures for their friends. Learning and development organizations create better and more creative ways to have content with their employees. And teachers and consultants that really are all about teaching immersively and experiential learning for kids in schools. So if you think about it, can we make something that's super boring, like a new hire orientation, more interesting and experiential for our employees? I'm going to give this a shot here. So you sign into the MissionZone and come to see us. This renders on a phone app. You're going to select missions that we already have on the platform. Or in this case, I created one specifically for today. And what you're presented with is a briefing that tells you exactly what you need to do, how you're going to do it. In this case, the mission is to break into Mike DiTullio's office and find the source version for PTC's mission statement. Mike is the marketing director here, for those of you that don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to launch that mission, waiting in a queue. We're going to start that, and two people engage with a mission at the same time. In this case, we're walking into a physical office. We're trying to break in there, and we're giving a clue from the app. The document code will be printed on a hard copy version. The paper version will be in the office. I'm reading this in case it's too small for everyone. The idea is that you're physically going to that file cabinet, you're looking through physical stuff in the room, and trying to figure out which physical piece of paper is the right one. In this case, there's several in there, so what do? Well, what you should have is your partner with you, as the intelligence operative, sitting on this briefing screen, because that's where all the intelligence is. And they can click a link. I took some liberties here, guys. I couldn't find a mission statement for PTC. But you see this unlock the value created. That happens to be this one right here. Has a document code on the bottom of it, which is our little cheat. It lets you interact the real world with the virtual world. Oops, sorry, wrong window. I'm going to enter in 0727, super secret, my birthday. And you're going to get positive feedback from the app telling that you're done, as well as at the end of it, you're going to get some scores on how you did, how things look. If you want to get competitive, it's going to give you the time that you took to execute the mission. So what we just did was we created a way to blend together a real-world physical space with technology, with people moving through it, a plot line to make it all interesting, and we've scaled that whole experience. This is sort of a vision of what our future is looking like, where we want a much larger space. Sorry, I'm trying to click this here. Where people can work through and interact with each other, sort of like a streetscape or a set on a movie set. And with that, I'd like to take your questions. I'll give out coupons if anybody wants to go first. Yes is real world physical space. So everyone keeps asking me, is this a VR or something like that? No, it's not. This is, you're walking into a physical room and doing stuff and touching real things. No VR component. Yeah.
Customers able to make their own campaign, like, for example, an office wants to get their workers together for some sort of bonding session, make their own campaign.
Are customers able to create their own content? Yes. We have a separate UI for that. The idea is to create a three-sided marketplace for two reasons. One, you might want to create some content that you then share with your friends and get rev share when they come in and try to test themselves to a mission. But also the example you talk about, something that's very specific to a company that wants to do corporate training, or I've even said if a family reunion, we just had the holidays and people are in town, what do you do with them when you're there? We'll create a mission that challenges them to understand the family tree and things of that sort. So yeah, you can create almost anything. Yep.
Do you see this turning into a platform where you can have franchises and have a competitor to escape to?
Do I see it turning into a platform, franchises? Not necessarily franchises, because I don't own the interaction model, but using a distribution channel like a movie theater, where you're walking into one theater and you're watching a movie, and you walk into the next one over, and it's a much larger version of what we have with elevator shafts. And I always tell people, if you can enter a room through the air ducts, like in the movies, who doesn't want to do that? So that's the idea, is to create that sort of experience. Travel and tourism, Wayfair. Oh yeah, so actually I've thought of the one, there were some furniture things here. I always thought that Jordan's Furniture, because they do some of that type of thing where they get people to go there and have an experience, we could layer on top of a Jordan's a mission, and you need to find, I don't know, whatever the cheapest couch might be in this area, or find as part of the mission the clock time. So things of that sort I do believe could be layered on top of other places. There's another question, yep.
Is there intention to have like an assortment of props that people can use to set up like a set design type thing room where you can pull out stuff and use it for real life experiences, or is it more of a serious kind of, you get one office, do with it what you will, kind of, and then find the code or whatever?
So the question is, what do we want to offer as props in the physical space to offer people that are creating that? A little bit of both. So eventually evolving to more of where your screen could demo something that you just mock up as a JPEG image that's there, or even there are holograms that could be in the room that you'd interact with. But yes, physical things in a lot of different rooms tend to be consistent. If you think about what's in a movie, you've got a library, you've got a hotel, you've got laboratories. Those types of things get reused from a set perspective over and over again, and those would be available for people. The idea for my next phase is 30 to 40 different rooms that could then be used for any mission as people want to configure it. In the back?
Is it multi-user friendly?
What is user friendly?
Like multi-user, more than one user?
Right now, it is not multi-user friendly. So now the POC version is one team of 2 people at a time. But to your question, I think it's obvious that when you want to get a lot of people in a space moving around, similar to Bodeborg, you might go into a room one at a time. But at some point, you might want to interact with other people, create challenges that are team against team. So I envision in the future a lot more being able to operate simultaneously, yes. Yeah. So the standard mission lasts about 15 to 20 minutes. We charge $10 per person per mission for that right now. It's similar in cost structure as what an escape room would be. I do offer some mini missions, take about 2 minutes right now, and what I do is instead I charge the company that's promoting their brand with us. So you get a free experience. And the idea is I think it's like 73% of people want to buy something if they have an experience with it. Get to experience that product and then get a coupon code or something at the end, and I'd ship that company the email of the person that came in. Last question. $5, you raise your hand. 3, 2, 1, go. Ah. Do you have a legit question?
Oh, yeah. Well, the idea is, I guess the question is, how easy would it be to set up like if it's from a, like, I'm creating content from your space, is there a place where I could, like how would I go through this? Through, like, a web?
Yep, there's a web UI. It's just simple text metadata that lets you build a mission. The structure is mission, objective, task from a hierarchy perspective. And just whatever you can dream up, you just kind of build screens around it.
If I want to create a maze with a scavenger hunt or whatever, would I design a maze for you, or would you have like some kind of maze that I could set up?
The physical infrastructure would be set up, and then you'd layer your storyline on top of it. Thank you, everyone.